The red lights flashed across the bridge of the Soul's Pride. Commander Taehyun held tight to his chair as the ship shook from another blast. Through the big window, he could see 6 alien ships getting closer like wild animals hunting prey. "Tell me what's happening," Taehyun shouted over the noise. "Navigator." So-min looked up from her computer screen. Her face was wet with sweat. "The jump drive is broken, sir. We can't escape from here." Chief Engineer Woo Jin's voice came through the speakers from the engine room. "The aliens hit us right in the power center. I can keep us moving, but not very fast." Taehyun felt his heart sink. The Soul's Pride was just a small trade ship carrying medicine to the far colonies. They had no real weapons, just basic defense guns. The ship was made for business, not for fighting wars. The alien ships belonged to the Dominion Empire. Taehyun had heard scary stories from other traders. The Dominion thought humans were nothing but space rats stealing things that belonged to better races. No human ship that met a Dominion patrol ever came home again. Communications Officer Miran turned to face him. "Sir, the big alien ship is sending us a message." "Let me hear it." The main screen turned on. An alien face appeared with pale blue skin, 4 yellow eyes, and a mouth full of sharp white teeth. The creature wore a black uniform with silver marks. "Human ship, you will give up right now," the alien said in perfect human words. "Turn off your shields and get ready for us to board your ship. You have 1 minute to do this." Taehyun looked around his bridge. So-min was only 25 years old and had just finished school for flying ships. Miran had joined their crew 6 months ago and still missed her family on Earth. Woo Jin was old enough to be his father, but he worked harder than anyone else. These were good people. They did not deserve to die out here in the cold darkness. "What happens if we give up?" Taehyun asked. The alien commander showed his sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. "Your ship will be destroyed. Your cargo will become ours. Your bodies will float in space forever. The same thing that happens to all humans who dare to travel in space that belongs to the Dominion." 30 seconds left, Commander," Miran said quietly. Taehyun closed his eyes for a moment. He thought about his home on Earth, about the blue sky and green mountains he might never see again. He thought about his sister Yoonji, who worked as a nurse in Seoul. She was counting on the medicine they carried to save sick people. He thought about all the human settlements spread across the galaxy, all the families trying to make new lives among the stars. If the Dominion kept hunting human ships, how long before those settlements died? 10 seconds, human. Taehyun opened his eyes. He looked at his crew, his family, and made his choice. "Miran, open a channel to talk to all their ships." "Channel is open, sir." Taehyun stood up tall and looked straight at the alien commander. "We are from Earth. We do not give up." The alien's 4 eyes got very wide. "Then you will die." "Maybe," Taehyun said. "But you will have to work hard to kill us." "Woo-jin, give me all the power you can. So-min, start moving us in pattern alpha." "Miran, start sending our location to all human ships you can reach." "What should I tell them, sir?" "Tell them the Soul's Pride is being attacked." "Tell them we need help." And keep saying one word over and over. "Earth, make sure everyone knows we come from Earth." The Dominion ship started shooting. Bright energy beams cut through space toward the Soul's Pride. So-min made the ship spin and dive in ways that made everyone feel sick. Most of the shots missed, but 2 hit their protective shields. "Shields are down to 60%. Woo Jin called out. Taehyun watched the battle screen. 6 ships against 1. They had maybe 10 minutes before their shields broke completely. "Shoot back," he ordered. Their small guns fired back. The beams looked like tiny sparks next to the Dominion weapons, but So-min had put them in the perfect spot. One shot hit a Dominion ship's engine, making it spin out of control. "Good shooting," Miran cheered, but the other 5 ships kept coming. More energy beams filled the space around them. The ship shook as their shields took hit after hit. "Shields at 30%, Woo Jin reported. "I'm trying to send more power to them, but we don't have much left." Taehyun held his chair tighter as another blast made the ship shake. Through the window, he could see the biggest Dominion ship getting closer. Its guns were getting ready to fire what would probably be the shot that killed them all. "Sir, I'm getting answers to our call for help," Miran said suddenly. "From who?" "Human ships, sir. Many of them. They're all saying the same thing." "What's that?" Miran's voice shook with feeling. "They're coming." On the main screen, the Dominion commander looked confused. His 4 eyes kept blinking as he looked at something they couldn't see. "What's wrong?" Taehyun asked, even though he knew the alien couldn't hear him. The answer came a moment later. New dots appeared on their sensors, dozens of them. coming out of hyperspace all around the star system. Those are human ships, So-min said with excitement. Taehyun could not believe what he was seeing. Cargo ships, mining vessels, even a few old patrol boats. They were not military ships, but they were all flying toward the battle. Miran, are you still sending our message? Yes, sir, to everyone who can hear. Good, keep saying that word. Earth? Earth. The Dominion commander's face came back on screen. For the first time he looked worried. Human commander, tell your ships to go away right now or we will destroy them all. Taehyun smiled. I'm not commanding those ships. They came here because they wanted to. Why? Because we're all from the same place. We're all children of Earth. The alien commander's face changed. The confidence was gone, replaced by something that looked like fear. That is not possible. Your people are scattered across the galaxy. You have no central command. You're right, Taehyun said. We don't need one. When one of us calls for help, the rest of us come. That's just who we are. More human ships kept arriving. Each one sent the same message as they took positions around the Soul's Pride. This is Earth space now. The Dominion commander turned off the transmission. Taehyun looked at his crew. So-min was crying with happiness. Miran was smiling as she talked with the other ships. Even Woo Jin's voice sounded happier over the comm. They had called for help and Earth had answered. Now they would see what happened when someone threatened the children of humanity. Communications officer Miran could not believe what she was seeing on her computer screens. The help signal from the Soul's Pride had traveled across the galaxy in minutes, and now human ships were answering from every direction. Captain Taehyun, I'm reading 67 human ships now, she said. More are coming every few seconds. Taehyun looked at the battle display in amazement. Each new ship announced itself as it came out of hyperspace. The Busan Runner, a cargo ship captained by Jin-soo. The mining vessel Gangnam Star under Captain Hae-jin. The old patrol ship Incheon's Might commanded by Captain Dongwoo. These aren't warships, Navigator So-min said. They're merchants, miners, transport crews. Doesn't matter, Engineer Woo Jin said over the comm. They came when we called. That's all that counts. Miran watched her communications board light up with incoming messages. Every human captain was asking for battle data, sharing sensor readings, planning their approach to the fight. It was like watching a single mind wake up across dozens of different bodies. Miran, let me talk to the fleet, Captain Taehyun ordered. Channel open, sir. This is Commander Taehyun of the Soul's Pride to all human vessels. Thank you for coming to help us. But I want you all to know, we didn't ask you to die for us. The answer came right away from Captain Hae-jin of the Gangnam Star. Commander, you didn't need to ask. When Earth's children call for help, we answer. It's who we are. Captain Jin-soo's voice joined the channel. My cargo hold is full of medical supplies for the outer colonies. But I've got enough firepower to take on a Dominion cruiser if I need to. This is Captain Dongwoo on the Incheon's Might. I may be flying an old patrol boat, but she's still got teeth. And I've got a crew that knows how to use them. More voices joined the conversation. Captain Sunwoo from the mining ship Daegu's Hope. Captain Bo-ram from the transport vessel Ulsan Trader. Captain Kyung-ho from the salvage ship Gwangju Retriever. None of them were soldiers, but all of them talked like fighters ready for war. Admiral Kethvar watched this display of unity from his flagship with growing worry. His tactical officer was tracking each new arrival, updating the threat level constantly. Sir, the human ships are connecting their systems, the tactical officer said. They're sharing targeting data, sensor readings, battle analysis. It's like fighting one ship with 70 different bodies. What's their total firepower compared to ours? Individually, each human ship is much weaker than ours. But combined, the officer paused to run calculations. Sir, their combined firepower now exceeds our own by 30%. And more ships keep coming. Admiral Kethvar studied the tactical display. The human formation was unlike anything in his military training. Instead of normal battle lines or attack formations, they had arranged themselves in a complex three-dimensional pattern that covered every possible attack angle. They're not following standard combat rules, his weapons officer said. Each ship seems to know exactly what the others are planning to do. On the Soul's Pride, Miran was working with the human fleet's communications network. Her console showed a real-time battle display shared by every human vessel in the system. It's incredible, she breathed. Every ship is connected to every other ship. When one captain spots a weakness in the Dominion formation, they all know about it instantly. Captain Hee-jin's voice came over the channel again. All ships, this is Gangnam Star. I'm reading stress cracks in the 3rd Dominion cruiser's left armor. Sending targeting coordinates now. Right away, a dozen human ships moved their positions to target that specific weak spot. The coordination was perfect. Engineer Wu Jin's voice crackled over their internal comm. Captain, I'm seeing something strange. The other human ships are sharing technical data too. Engine specifications, weapon capabilities, even repair procedures. What does that mean? It means if one of our ships gets damaged, any other ship in the fleet can provide exactly the right kind of support. They're not just fighting together, they're working as a single organism. Captain Tae-hyun realized what he was seeing. This wasn't just a rescue mission. It was the activation of something that covered the entire galaxy. A network of human vessels that could respond instantly to any threat against their kind. Admiral Kethvar received a transmission from the lead human ship. Admiral Kethvar, this is Captain Hee-jin of the mining vessel Gangnam Star. I'm now speaking for all human vessels in this system. A mining captain speaks for your entire fleet? Admiral Kethvar asked. Admiral, there are no ranks in Earth's family. I speak for them because my ship arrived first and has the strongest communication system. But every captain here has the same authority I do. Admiral Kethvar found this hard to believe. Impossible. No military force can work without clear command structure. We're not a military force, Admiral. We're a community. When one of us is threatened, the rest of us respond. It's that simple. The Admiral watched his sensors as even more human ships continued to arrive. Mining vessels, cargo haulers, passenger transports, research ships, each one adding to the growing network of coordinated vessels. Admiral, Captain Hee-jin continued, we're sending our battle analysis of your fleet to human settlements throughout the galaxy. Every detail about your ships, your weapons, your combat methods. This information will reach every human vessel within days. You're threatening us with information warfare? No, Admiral. We're explaining what will happen because of your actions. If this battle continues, every human in the galaxy will know exactly how to fight ships like yours. Is that really what the Dominion wants? Admiral Kethvar realized the full meaning. Even if he won this battle, the tactical knowledge gained by the humans would make every future encounter more dangerous for Dominion forces. But the humans weren't finished. Admiral, we're also sending something else, Captain Hee-jin said. The location of every Dominion ship in this system. Every human settlement, every human ship, every human colony now knows exactly where you are. The Admiral felt cold fear. You're marking us for revenge. We're making sure that if you destroy us, our deaths will be remembered and avenged. Every human who dies here has families scattered across the galaxy. Are you ready for the consequences of making them all your enemies? Admiral Kethvar looked at his tactical display again. What had started as a simple attack on a lone merchant vessel had become a confrontation with an entire species' collective defense network. But even more worrying was what his communications officer had just discovered. Sir, the humans aren't just sharing military intelligence. They're broadcasting personal messages too. Stories about their families, their homes, their reasons for being in space. Every human ship in the galaxy now knows the names and faces of the crews we're threatening. Admiral Kethvar understood. The humans had made this personal for their entire species. If he destroyed these ships, he wouldn't just be attacking vessels. He would be killing individuals known and loved by humans throughout the galaxy. The network hadn't just awakened to coordinate a military response. It had awakened to ensure that every human death would be remembered, mourned, and avenged by millions of others. For the first time in his long military career, Admiral Kethvar wondered if there was an enemy too dangerous to fight. General Vextar sat in his war room looking at holographic displays showing old battle reports. His helper, Commander Zolthek, watched nervously as the general pulled up file after file marked with a single word. Earth. General, Admiral Kethvar wants more information about human fighting methods, Commander Zolthek said. Vextar did not look up from the displays. Show him these files. All of them. Sir, some of these are secret at the highest levels. Not anymore. The general finally turned to face his helper. If Kethvar is fighting humans, he needs to know what he's dealing with. Keeping these reports secret has cost us too many ships already. Commander Zolthek turned on the secure transmission system. Admiral Kethvar's image appeared on the main screen. Admiral, you asked for information about human fighting methods. General Vextar said without saying hello. "I'm sending you all the files from the Hegemony War." I thought that war was a small border fight. That's what we told the people. Vextar's voice was dark. The truth was much worse. The general turned on the first holographic display. It showed a single human colony ship floating in space, badly damaged. This was our first meeting with humans. The ship looked helpless. Few weapons, civilian crew carrying families to a new colony world. Admiral Northak decided to attack it to test our new weapon systems. The display showed Dominion ships opening fire on the colony vessel. The humans should have given up right away. Instead, they did something we had never seen before. The hologram changed to show the human ship's response. Instead of trying to run or surrender, the colony ship turned toward the attacking fleet. "They crashed into you?" Admiral Kethvar asked. "Not exactly." General Vextar changed the controls, showing the battle from different angles. They turned their entire ship into a guided missile. But that wasn't the worst part. The display zoomed in on the human ship. Small craft were launching from its cargo areas. Work pods, shuttles, even escape pods that had been changed to carry weapons. The humans didn't just fight with their main ship. Every person on board became a weapon. Engineers in spacesuits cutting through our hull with mining tools. Doctors using medical scanners to find our weak spots. Children as young as 10 operating gun positions. Admiral Kethavar stared at the images. "How many of your people did they kill?" "2 of our ships destroyed, 3 more badly damaged. Over 800 Dominion warriors killed." General Vextar's voice got quieter. "We lost more people in that one battle than in the previous 50 years of conquest combined." But surely that was the end of it. General Vextar laughed, but there was no happiness in it. "Admiral, that was just the beginning." The next hologram showed a different scene. A Dominion supply convoy under attack by multiple human ships. 3 weeks later, human vessels started appearing at our bases. Not fleets, single ships attacking in planned strikes. Each attack was smarter than the last. The display showed human tactics changing in real time. Simple crashing attacks became precise strikes. Crude weapons became deadly traps. They were learning from every battle, Commander Zoltek added. Every ship we destroyed sent its battle data to other human vessels. They changed faster than we could develop ways to stop them. Admiral Kethvar watched the tactical displays with growing worry. "How long did this continue?" 5 years, General Vextar said. 5 years of the most brutal warfare in Dominion history. Every time we thought we understood their methods, they changed them. Every time we developed new weapons, they found ways to use them against us. The holographic display changed to show a massive space station under attack. Hundreds of human ships swarmed around it like angry insects. This was the Battle of Kepler Station. We thought our strongest fortress could withstand any human attack. The images showed human ships working together with impossible coordination. Some gave covering fire while others landed assault teams. Still others crashed themselves into the station's weapons to clear paths for the attackers. They took the station in 6 hours. But the worst part came after the battle. What happened? General Vextar turned on a new file. It showed the inside of the captured station. Human engineers were studying every piece of Dominion technology, taking detailed scans and measurements. They didn't just capture our equipment. They understood it. Within months, human ships were using improved versions of our own weapons against us. Admiral Kethvar felt his stomach turn. "They copied your technology?" "Made it better," Commander Zoltek corrected. "Human engineers found problems in our designs that we had missed for hundreds of years. They made our own weapons more effective against us." The general brought up the final display. It showed a star map with red zones marked across dozens of systems. By the end of the war, we had lost 17 major bases, 43 outposts, and over 200 ships. Human raiding fleets were operating in the heart of Dominion space. Our own worlds were under attack. How did it end? The humans offered us a deal. Stop attacking their colonies and they would stop attacking ours. General Vextar's eyes looked haunted. We accepted immediately. Admiral Kethvar studied the star map. The red zones showed how far human operations had reached during the war. They covered nearly a quarter of former Dominion space. What made them so good at fighting? Unity, General Vextar said simply. Every human fought like the survival of their entire species depended on that single battle. They shared information instantly across their entire network. When we destroyed one ship, 10 more would appear with better tactics based on how the first one died. Commander Zoltek turned on another display, but the most scary thing was their determination. We captured several human prisoners during the war. Under questioning, they all said the same thing. What? That they weren't fighting for territory or resources or glory. They were fighting for the right of their species to exist among the stars. For them, every battle was about protecting Earth and all her children. Admiral Kethvar thought about the merchant ship he had attacked, how its crew had chosen to fight rather than surrender, how they had broadcast their location to every human in the galaxy. General, what would happen if I destroyed every human ship in my current battle? General Vextar and Commander Zolthek looked at each other. Admiral, those humans have already sent detailed information about your fleet to their entire network. If you kill them, within a month there will be human ships hunting every vessel in your command. They will study your tactics, adapt to your weapons, and they will not stop until everyone involved in the attack is dead. And if I let them go, then you'll have learned what took us 5 years and thousands of lives to understand. Humans don't want to conquer the galaxy, they just want to live in it. But if you threaten their right to exist, they will show you why the word Earth makes warriors wake up screaming. The transmission ended, leaving Admiral Kethvar alone with the weight of history. Outside his room, he could hear his crew watching the human fleet. More ships were arriving every few minutes, each one adding to the network that connected every human vessel in the galaxy. He thought about the merchant ship captain who had said, "We are from Earth," instead of giving up. Now he understood what those words really meant. They weren't just claiming a planet. They were calling on the protection of an entire species that had proven it would go to any lengths to protect its own. Admiral Kethvar returned to his bridge, knowing that his next decision would either start a war that could last decades or end a battle that should never have begun. The standoff had lasted 4 hours. Admiral Kethvar stood on his bridge watching the battle screen as more human ships continued to arrive. His fleet of 6 ships now faced over 80 human vessels, and the numbers kept growing. "Sir, we're detecting another wave of hyperspace signatures," his sensor officer said. 15 more human ships coming in from the outer rim. Admiral Kethvar felt the weight of every decision he had made in 300 years of warfare. Never had he faced an enemy like this, an enemy that grew stronger with every passing minute, that shared information instantly across impossible distances, that treated every battle as a fight for their species' survival. His communications officer looked up nervously. "Admiral, the humans are sending another message. Put it through." Captain Hyjin's face appeared on the main screen. Behind her, Admiral Kethvar could see the bridge of a mining vessel that had been changed into a command center. Other human faces filled smaller screens, captains working together from across the fleet. "Admiral Kethvar, this standoff has gone on long enough. We're offering you the same choice we've offered every species that has threatened Earth's children. Leave now, and this ends peacefully. Continue your attack and face what happened to the hegemony." Admiral Kethvar had read those files. He knew what the humans had done to the hegemony's forces. "Captain Hyjin, your ships are impressive, but we still have better firepower." The human captain smiled sadly. "Admiral, you still don't understand. This isn't about firepower anymore." She pointed to something off-screen, and the transmission expanded to show multiple displays. Each screen showed data streams flowing between human settlements across the galaxy. Every human colony, every human settlement, every human ship in known space now has complete battle information about your fleet. They know your weapon signatures, your defensive capabilities, your command structure. More importantly, they know your faces. Admiral Kethvar watched the data streams with growing worry. The information flowing through the human network was amazing. Not just military intelligence, but personal details about his crew, their families, their home worlds. "If you destroy us here, Admiral, you won't just be fighting the survivors of this battle. You'll be fighting every human in the galaxy, and they'll know exactly how to hurt you." Captain Dongwu's voice joined the transmission from his patrol ship. "Admiral, my grandfather died fighting the hegemony 50 years ago. He taught me that humans don't fight for territory or glory. We fight for the right to exist among the stars. My daughter is studying to be a doctor on New Sol." Captain Jinsu added, "If you kill me here, she'll spend the rest of her life making sure the Dominion pays for it." More voices joined in. Captain Sunwoo talked about his son serving on a research vessel. Captain Boram mentioned her sister working in the outer colonies. Captain Kyung-ho spoke of his parents who had died building the first human settlements beyond Earth. Each story made the conflict more personal. Each name and face broadcast across the human network made revenge more certain. Admiral Kethavar realized what the humans were doing. They weren't just threatening military action. They were making it impossible for the Dominion to attack any human without making enemies of all humans. Admiral, Captain Hyojin continued, we're also sending something else. Records of every species that chose cooperation over conquest. New displays showed trade agreements, mutual defense pacts, scientific exchanges. The Ventari Consortium had become wealthy trading with human colonies. The Colossi Republic had jointly colonized 3 systems with human settlers. The Thren Confederation had signed a peace treaty that had brought peace to an entire sector. The galaxy is big enough for all of us, Admiral. Humans don't want to conquer anyone. We just want to live in peace and build new homes among the stars. But if you insist on treating us as enemies... The display changed to show the aftermath of battles from the Hegemony War. Destroyed hegemony fleets floating in space. Former hegemony, worlds that still bore the scars of human retaliation decades later. Then we'll show you why the word Earth makes warriors wake up screaming. Admiral Kethavar closed his eyes and thought about General Vextar's warnings. 5 years of brutal warfare, thousands of ships lost. An entire empire brought to its knees by an enemy that refused to accept defeat. When he opened his eyes, he saw his crew watching him. These were good soldiers who had followed him through countless campaigns. They trusted his judgment. Their lives depended on the decision he made in the next few minutes. Open a channel to all ships, he commanded. His communications officer nodded. Channel open, sir. Admiral Kethavar looked directly into the camera. Human vessels, this is Admiral Kethavar. We withdraw our attack and will leave this system immediately. The relief on his bridge was obvious. But Admiral Kethavar wasn't finished. However, I want to make something clear to all human vessels in this system. The Dominion Empire has been wrong about your species. We saw you as primitive scavengers unworthy of space travel. Today you have shown us that we were the primitive ones. He paused, thinking about the coordination he had witnessed, the unity of purpose, the way these civilian ships had responded to protect one of their own. The Dominion Empire formally recognizes human sovereignty over all systems currently occupied by your colonies. We will not attack human vessels in the future, and we hope to establish peaceful relations between our peoples. Captain Hyojin's expression changed from determination to surprise. Admiral, are you offering a peace treaty? I'm offering an end to a war that should never have started. My species has much to learn from yours. The transmission from the human fleet changed. Where before there had been grim determination, now there was cautious hope. Captain Taehyun's voice came over the channel from the Soul's Pride. Admiral, if you're serious about peace, you're welcome to visit our colonies. See what we're building out here? I would like that, Commander. Admiral Kethavar gave orders for his fleet to withdraw. As his ships prepared to jump to hyperspace, he received one final transmission from Captain Hyojin. Admiral, when you return to Dominion space, please tell your leaders something. Humans remember our friends as clearly as we remember our enemies. The Dominion chose to be our friend today. That means something to us. What does it mean? It means if anyone ever threatens the Dominion Empire, they'll have to go through Earth to do it. Admiral Kethavar smiled for the first time in hours. Captain, I think that might be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. His ships jumped to hyperspace, leaving the human fleet alone in the system. On the bridge of the Soul's Pride, Commander Taehyun watched the Dominion ships disappear. Around them, the massive human fleet began to spread out, each ship returning to its regular route through the galaxy. Miran, send a message to all human settlements, he ordered. What should I tell them, sir? Tell them the Soul's Pride is safe. Tell them Earth's children looked out for each other today. And tell them the galaxy just became a safer place for all of us. As the human ships jumped back to hyperspace, each one carried the same message. Not a threat or a warning, but a promise. Earth's children were scattered across the galaxy, but they would always be there for each other. And anyone who chose to be their friend would find no more loyal ally in the universe. The word Earth no longer made warriors wake up screaming. Now it made them sleep peacefully, knowing they had chosen the right side. Admiral Kethavar watched the battle from his big command ship. He could not believe what he was seeing. The small human trade vessel should have been destroyed in 30 seconds. Instead, it moved between his ship's weapons like a dancing bird. "How is this happening?" he asked his weapons officer. The younger Dominion officer looked at his readings twice before he answered. "Sir, their ship is moving in ways that should break it apart. The stress on their hull should have killed everyone inside by now." On the main screen, the human ship spun very fast to avoid more shots. When it fired back, every shot hit exactly where it would hurt the most. 2 more of his escort ships were limping away with broken engines. "Their weapons are old and weak," his tactical officer said, "but they hit the right spots every time. Every shot damages us where we are weakest." Admiral Kethavar had commanded fleets for over 300 years. He had conquered many worlds and destroyed countless enemy ships. He had never seen anything like this. The human ship was broadcasting something on all radio frequencies. His communications officer looked puzzled as he tried to understand it. "What are they saying?" Kethavar asked. "It's just one word, sir. Over and over. Earth, Earth, Earth." The Admiral felt cold fear run through his body. That word brought back memories of old reports he had read years ago. "Bad reports, sir. We have new ships appearing," his sensor officer called out. Many ships coming out of hyperspace. The main display showed ship after ship appearing around them. They were clearly human vessels with their rough, square designs. But there were so many of them. "Are they warships?" "No, sir. Cargo ships, miners, civilian craft. But they all have weapons, and they're moving into attack positions." Admiral Kethavar looked at the tactical display. His 6 ships now faced almost 40 human vessels. The humans should still be weaker, but something about the way they moved scared him. The lead human ship, a mining vessel called the Gangnam Star, sent a message to his flagship. "Dominion fleet, you have attacked a ship protected by Earth. Leave now or face what happens next." Admiral Kethavar opened a channel back. "I am Admiral Kethavar of the Dominion Empire. Your threats mean nothing to us. We will destroy all of you. Then, you have made a bad choice," the human captain replied. What happened next made the Admiral question everything he knew about fighting wars. The human ships did not attack in a wild rush like most species did. Instead, they moved with perfect timing. Every ship knew exactly where the others were going. Their weapons fired one after another, creating patterns of destruction that his ships could not avoid. "They're sharing battle information in real time," his communications officer said. "Every ship is connected to every other ship. When one sees a target, they all see it." Admiral Kethavar watched in amazement as his most advanced warship was slowly overwhelmed by the human swarm. Each human ship was weak alone, but together they fought like one giant creature. "Sir, the humans are broadcasting something else now," his communications officer said. "What?" "Battle reports, sir. They're sending detailed information about our ships, our weapons, our fighting methods. The transmission is going out on many frequencies to other human settlements." The Admiral understood what this meant. Even if he won this battle, every human in the galaxy would know how he had done it. They would change their tactics, get better, improve their methods based on what happened here. "Tell all ships to stop firing," he commanded. His weapons officer looked shocked. "Sir?" I said, "Stop firing. I need to make some calls." Admiral Kethavar went to his private room and turned on his personal communicator. The face that appeared on his screen belonged to General Vextar, one of the most feared warriors in Dominion history. "Admiral, I wasn't expecting to hear from you during a battle. General, I need information about humans, specifically about their homeworld, Earth." The change in General Vextar's face was immediate and terrible. The old warrior's face went pale and his hands started to shake. "Where did you hear that word?" Vextar whispered. "I'm facing a human fleet right now. They keep saying it." "How many ships?" "About 40 civilian vessels." General Vextar closed his eyes. "Admiral, you need to leave immediately." "Why?" "They're just merchants and miners." "No, they're not." The general's voice was tight with old fear. "They're the children of Earth, and you just threatened one of them." Admiral Kethavar felt that cold fear again, stronger this time. "General, what aren't you telling me?" 50 years ago, the hegemony made the same mistake you're about to make. They attacked what looked like a helpless human colony ship. It should have been a simple destruction. General Vextar's hands were shaking now. Instead, it became a nightmare that lasted 5 years. The humans didn't just fight back, they learned from every battle. They changed their fighting methods faster than we could develop new ones. Each attack made them stronger. But surely the hegemony's better technology meant nothing. Vextar's voice was barely heard. The humans turned everything into a weapon. Their own ships, their mining tools, even their dead bodies. They fought like each battle would decide whether their entire species lived or died. Admiral Kethvar thought about the perfect timing he had just seen. The way the human ships moved as one mind with 40 different bodies, what happened to the hegemony? They asked for peace after losing 3 entire fleets. The humans' only demand was simple: leave their colonies alone and they would leave you alone. And if you refused? General Vextar looked straight into the camera. Then they would hunt you across the galaxy until every ship in your fleet was space dust. They don't fight wars, Admiral. They fight extinctions. The transmission ended, leaving Admiral Kethvar alone with his thoughts. Outside his room, he could hear his crew trying to understand what was happening. More human ships were arriving every few minutes. His advantage was disappearing quickly, but it wasn't the numbers that worried him now. It was the coordination, the perfect unity of purpose, the way they had responded to a single word broadcast across the void. These humans had built something more than a fleet. They had built a network that covered the entire galaxy, where an attack on one was treated as an attack on all. Admiral Kethvar returned to his bridge and looked at the tactical display. His ships were still more powerful individually, but the humans weren't fighting as individuals. They were fighting as Earth. "Sir, what are your orders?" his weapons officer asked. Admiral Kethvar watched the human ships take perfect formation around his fleet, every captain probably ready to die to protect that single merchant vessel. For the first time in 300 years of warfare, he wasn't sure he wanted to find out what would happen next. "Keep watching their communications," he ordered, "and get me everything we have on human battle methods." His crew looked confused, but they followed orders. Admiral Kethvar had a decision to make, and he was beginning to understand why General Vextar still had bad dreams about Earth.